In today's video, we're going to be talking about the different stages of fasting and how long you have to fast in order to obtain certain benefits. Of course, fasting can be effective for weight loss, but it also has additional benefits as well. It can reduce inflammation, improve digestion, contribute to the reversal of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, and even prevent certain diseases. And this is just scratching the surface of the amazing benefits that fasting has to offer. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the different stages of fasting for both intermittent fasting and extended fasting. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Kate. I'm a health coach and I post videos on a high-fat, nutrient-dense way of eating. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, feel free to share, and make sure to subscribe. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where I share new posts every single day. Today's video is sponsored by Adapted Nutrition. For electrolyte supplements specifically formulated for intermittent fasting and the keto diet, head to healthcoachkait.com/electrolytes and use code HCK10 to save 10% off your order. The topic of today is fasting and the different stages along the timeline. Fasting is defined as the willful refrainment from eating. So anytime you are not eating, you are fasting. We are all fasting when we sleep, but a lot of us do not spend much time in this state when we are awake. We are told to eat breakfast first thing in the morning, and I know that a lot of us are guilty of late night snacking as well. And because of this, we are missing out on the amazing benefits that fasting has to offer. Now, there are two main types of fasting, and underneath these there are several variations. The two main types are intermittent fasting and extended fasting. Intermittent fasting is when you have a fasting schedule, and you fast for a certain amount of time each day. The most popular variation is 16-8, where you don't eat for 16 hours, including the time you spend sleeping, and you eat all of your calories for the day within an 8-hour window. But intermittent fasting can range anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. Now, when you fast longer than 24 hours, this is going to be an extended fast. The difference with extended fasting is it only needs to be done periodically in order to reap the benefits. Depending on the length of your extended fast, you might only need to complete one monthly, quarterly, or even yearly. If you do extended fasting too frequently, you can start to get diminishing returns, especially if you are a woman and especially if you have a low body fat percentage. And I really want to stress this before we begin. Longer fasts do not always equal better. So often I see people treating fasting like a competition and boasting about how long they fast every day. But, and we're going to get into this during this video, some of the benefits peak at a certain time and then start to decrease. But anyways, let's get into the different stages of fasting. So the first stage of fasting, or I guess the stage before it officially begins, is the fed state. We are in a fed state when we have eaten and are digesting food. Now, one question I am asked a lot is, do you start counting your fasting hours after you eat your last meal or after your food has been digested? And I mean, it really is impossible to know when you have fully digested your food. So start counting after you have finished your last meal. The timeline I'm going to be taking you through today is based off after you had your last bite of food. So the fed state is the opposite of the fasted state. During this time, your blood sugar will increase as your food is broken down, and insulin will be released to bring the excess blood sugar to your cells. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, will decrease during this time, and leptin, the satiety hormone, will increase. During this time, your body is digesting your food and absorbing nutrients. Now, as I already said, you can never truly know when this stage ends. Of course, it will depend on how big your meal was, what the macronutrient breakdown was, and your lifestyle and metabolic health. But just assume that your fasting window starts after you have your last bite of food. Now, around 4 to 8 hours after your last bite of food, your blood sugar and insulin levels will drop to baseline. And again, this time frame is going to vary depending on those factors that we just mentioned. If you are eating a keto or a low-carb diet, for example, these diets mimic fasting in a lot of ways. The main one being that they do not raise blood sugar and insulin significantly when you eat. So of course, someone following these diets is going to see their blood sugar come back to baseline much quicker than someone who is eating a high carb diet. And keep this in mind as we go through this video, because someone who usually eats a low carb or a ketogenic diet is going to experience all of these benefits a few hours sooner than someone eating a high carb diet. But anyways, usually between 4 to 8 hours is when you see your blood sugar come down, and your body will start using your stored glucose for energy. At around the 12-hour mark, a hormone called human growth hormone will begin to increase. Human growth hormone helps to regulate body composition, body fluids, muscle and bone growth, and sugar and fat metabolism. When we are in a fed state, the secretion of human growth hormone is significantly lower. It is for this reason that most people only have a significant amount of human growth hormone released while they are sleeping. Now, at around the 16-hour mark is when your stored glucose is running out, and your body starts to look for a different energy source, which is when it starts to pull from your fat stores and produce ketones. Of course, this means that you are burning body fat, which is beneficial for weight loss, but there are additional benefits to ketones as well. Reduced inflammation, increased mental clarity, stable blood sugar, reversal of insulin resistance, and increased endurance performance. And I actually just posted a video a couple of weeks ago talking all about ketones, so if you want to know more, you can check out that video afterwards. Now, when you get to the 18 to 20 hour mark, this is where significant autophagy begins. And what is autophagy, you might be asking? Autophagy is a cellular process where your body cleans out damaged cells and regenerates new ones. You can think of it like this. The cells in our body are not meant to last forever, just like parts in your car. At some point, they will become worn down and need to be replaced. If your car gets a flat tire, you will want to replace it. Your car is not going to work very well if you are driving around and ignore the flat. And the same goes for your cells. If one becomes damaged, you want it to be replaced. It is not fully understood why autophagy increases when we are fasting, but what is known is that when insulin is low and glucagon is high, the high glucagon triggers it. At around the 36-hour mark, this is when autophagy really ramps up. Studies have shown an increase of up to 300% at this time. And this means your body is working overtime to recycle damaged cells, which in turn can lead to disease prevention and even accelerated healing. Autophagy has also been shown to increase longevity. At around the 48-hour mark, human growth hormone begins to ramp up as well, up to 500%. And again, this helps with body composition, maintaining lean muscle mass, etc. Okay, now if you have made it to the 54-hour mark, this is when you will start to see significant improvements to your insulin sensitivity. So I have a lot of videos on my channel talking about insulin resistance, but what you need to know is that most people in the modern world are insulin resistant, meaning the cells in their body are not responding to insulin correctly. And this leads to difficulty losing weight, blood sugar regulation issues, PCOS for women, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and more. And if you're still confused about what insulin resistance is, it is the exact same thing as metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome actually used to be called insulin resistance syndrome until it was relabeled for whatever reason. But the point is, if you are insulin resistant, you want to become more insulin sensitive. And this will mean your cells are taking in glucose efficiently. And fasting is the best way to improve your insulin sensitivity. If you are doing any length of fasting, you are going to see improvements to your insulin sensitivity. But again, around 54 hours is when it really increases. Around the 72-hour or 3-day mark is when autophagy peaks. And from my research at least, this is probably the ideal time for most people to end an extended fast. Anything longer and you are going to get diminishing returns in some areas, as I spoke about earlier. There are definitely benefits to going longer as well, but I really think that 72 hours is the sweet spot for most people. Now, before we get into the benefits past the 72-hour mark, I'm going to take a quick moment to tell you about today's sponsor, Adapted Nutrition. Adapted Nutrition makes electrolyte supplements specifically for fasting and the keto diet. And let me tell you, electrolytes can make fasting a million times easier, especially when you are first getting started. Electrolytes are electronically charged minerals that control the balance of fluids in the body and regulate nerve and muscle function. Some of the most common ones include potassium, sodium, and magnesium. So if you are feeling lightheaded or dizzy during a fast, or maybe you are experiencing muscle cramps or heart palpitations, these can all be signs you are low in electrolytes. Consuming electrolytes on their own does not break a fast. However, most electrolyte supplements on the market contain added sugars, artificial ingredients, and fillers, and these ingredients do break a fast. And that is where adapted nutrition comes in. Adapted nutrition is committed to providing simple, science-based hydration products from natural sea minerals. Their Keto K1000 electrolyte powder is one of my favorites, and I especially love it when I'm doing an extended fast. If you want to check them out, you can head to healthcoachkait.com/electrolytes and use code 𝗖𝗟𝗜 to save 10% off your order. Thank you to Adapted Nutrition for sponsoring this video. Now, from 72 hours to 120 hours is when your stem cell activity is going to be maximized. Fasting dramatically improves stem cells' ability to regenerate new immune system cells. Animal studies and a couple of human studies have shown a decrease in risk for cancer and a decrease in cancer growth rates from fasting because of this. And those are the different stages and the benefits of fasting. Let me know in the comment section down below what your current fasting routine looks like if you have one. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you did like this video, you might also like my video on the different variations of fasting. So that can be a water fast, a dry fast, bulletproof fasting. I talk about all of those in this video right here. If you want to catch up on my most recent upload, you can find it right here. And if you want to check out my keto diet and carnivore diet coaching programs, you can find them here. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.